Hey guys, happy 2025, happy new year. Today I wanted to sit down and talk about my spending in 2024. Now, because I'm a review channel, I do spend a lot of money on beauty products for my channel, but if I'm being completely honest with you, I wasn't keeping track of everything. I wasn't writing things down. I had no idea what everything added up to. Now, of course, I never spent above my means. I always pay my credit card bill off in full at the end of the month. So I never let it get out of control or anything like that. But when I actually sat down and added everything up this year, I was shocked at how much I spent. So in today's video, I'm gonna reveal that number and kind of walk through how I got there and why I got there. And I think targeting the reasons why I spend so much money can help me to not do that in 2025. I'm also going to be slashing my monthly budget considerably. I'm actually making a budget for the first time, and we will be getting into that as well. So if that sounds good, let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and just dive into the numbers, and I don't want to keep you guys in suspense. Believe me, I feel a little bit embarrassed about this, to be honest with you. I know that this is my job. I know it's a business, and in order to make money, you have to spend money and all of that. But at the same time, it's also resulted in an excess of products that I know I'm never going to use, and it kind of makes things feel overwhelming and adds a little bit of stress to everything. So let's start with Sephora. Sephora was the biggest piece of the pie. So in total, I spent $6,118 at Sephora in 2024. And if you break that down, it works out to about $500 a month. That is a car payment or a grocery bill for a lot of people. And that number right there, when I look at it that way, it seems even worse. And again, this is a business expense. It wasn't like my personal spending. If I didn't have this channel, I would not be spending that much. But I think when you're a YouTube creator or influencer, it kind of blurs the line between business and personal expenses. Like when I was a manager at Sephora and I had to buy supplies for the store or order new products to come in to replace things that were sold out, it felt separate because I wasn't using my personal funds to buy these products and I wasn't keeping them in my home and using them. They were at the store. So if you think about it, it's a little bit different because this $6,000 worth of products is just for me and me alone, and I'm keeping it all here. So it just hits differently, even though technically it's a business expense, it's personal at the same time. And I think that's one of the things that sets this job apart from others. So anyway, I think for me, if I look back, the danger when it comes to Sephora and why my bill was so high is because of their one-day delivery, the same day delivery that gets delivered from Instacart. I can't tell you how many times I would look on the website, see something new, and see that I could have it delivered that day, and that's what made me pull the trigger. I don't have to wait. It's instant gratification. Knowing that it'll show up at my door in an hour or so, it just made it a little bit more appealing, I guess. I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to wait days for it to arrive. And when I looked back, the majority of my orders from Sephora were same-day delivery. So I've kind of flagged that as a weak spot for me. And I think knowing that is half the battle. So I need to find other ways to kind of scratch that itch when I feel in the mood for retail therapy. These same-day delivery services can be very dangerous. Another thing I noticed is that we recently got a Sephora at Kohl's near me. And before that, I had to drive like 15-20 minutes to go to the mall. But now Kohl's is like right down the street from my house and I pass there all the time and I see that big Sephora sign and sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna like stop and see what's new and look around, and then I end up getting something always. So I think that's another thing that I have to recognize is like I don't always have to stop there. I have to kind of resist that urge. So that was Sephora. The second store that I spent the most in, I thought it was gonna be Ulta, but it wasn't. It was actually Amazon. And I think the appeal with Amazon too is kind of like with the Sephora same day delivery. Amazon has a very fast shipping. So you can get something sometimes the same day. A lot of times it's the very next day. I could even order something at night when I'm just sitting on the couch watching TV and know that it'll come at like 7 a.m. the next morning, So I'm definitely starting to see the pattern that instant gratification for me is certainly part of the equation. And it actually opened my eyes to see that sometimes it's not even about the products themselves. It's just about getting something new and having that to look forward to. It's something that maybe can brighten up an otherwise dull or boring day. So looking back at Amazon, I spent a total of $3,215 or about $268 a month. When I look at what I was purchasing, a lot of it was K-beauty because Amazon now stocks a lot of that stuff and it's so much easier to get it there than it is to order from YesStyle. Their shipping usually takes a long time and Amazon is super fast. Another big piece of it that I can see here is drugstore brands like Catrice because they're only on Amazon. Also L'Oreal, Maybelline, CoverGirl. A lot of their new releases were on Amazon first before they end up hitting the drugstores. So between K-beauty and drugstore makeup, that's pretty much where I spent the bulk of the money on Amazon. So the third piece of the spending was at Ulta, of course. And in total, at Ulta, I spent $2,149 or about $179 a month. So that is actually not as bad, but it's also slightly misleading because I actually did spend more, or I shouldn't say I spent more. I used points. So I actually ended up getting more products or would have spent more had I not used the points. Let's put it that way. So I actually have the Ulta MasterCard. That's like my main credit card that I use. So when I buy anything, whether it's at Ulta or other stores, whether I'm getting gas or groceries, if I put it on that Ulta card, I get points. And the points can really add up. I mean, I saved a lot. I'm looking back. I ended up spending 13,387 points last year. So I'm not sure like how much money that would equate to because with Ulta's point system, you can, depending on how much you're spending, the rate can be different. Plus sometimes they have point multipliers. So I don't know how much that saved me, but I would estimate it to be in like the $600 to $800 range. So my Ulta bill probably would have been closer to the Amazon spending, around $3,000 had I not had those points. So I do think that it makes sense to probably shop at Ulta as much as I can because I'm not saving the money at Sephora as much. Every once in a great while, I get one of those $10 off things, but there's no way I would save that much at Sephora. Plus Ulta now has a lot of the same brands that Sephora does. So I think it would make sense for me to shop there more. The reason that I don't is because again, it's like 15-20 minutes away and their shipping isn't the greatest. And they do technically have same day delivery, but the times that I've tried it, it didn't work out for some reason. First of all, they have a cutoff of like 2 p.m. or something. And then even when I did order before the cutoff, if they don't have anybody to come and pick it up, like from DoorDash or whoever they're using, then usually it would end up coming the next day and I would get frustrated with it. So I don't love Ulta's same day delivery. Maybe that's a good thing. And then also I feel like their shipping is worse than Sephora. They take longer. If I want to get it there within a reasonable amount of time, I have to pay extra. And when they package stuff, it usually comes broken. So I think those are the reasons I didn't shop at Ulta as much as I did Sephora. But if I want to save money, I should probably look into shopping there more. And then the fourth highest place that I spent money at was Iherb, and there I spent $548 for the year. So this was mostly on K-beauty, skincare, and makeup again. So Iherb is a great resource. I discovered them recently and just fell in love. I feel like they have such fast shipping. Usually it's like 2 days. They have a great selection. They don't have as much as a company like YesStyle does, but again, shipping is quicker. It's coming right from the United States. So I did place several large orders there this year as well. So those were the top four. And really, I spent money other places too. I know I went to Target a bunch. I know I was like out at the drugstores buying things here and there. It's just impossible for me to actually add those up without like going through my credit card statement line by line. And even if I did that, if I see a charge at Target, I don't know what is beauty and what's like clothing or home stuff or groceries or whatever. So it's hard to kind of break out what I spent at those stores without saving the actual receipts. But if I just tally up the top four places that I mentioned and ignore the rest, the total amount that I spent was $12,031 or $1,000 a month. It's absolutely insane. And again, this is a conservative estimate. If I think back, my first 2 cars put together didn't even cost $12,000. So for me, it kind of puts it in perspective. Now, I'm sure there are people here on YouTube who spent double that amount or triple that amount. I know there are people I watch who review like every single new release, and especially a lot of the high-end stuff, and I don't do that. So they definitely could have spent more, but I feel like I could have spent less. I don't think $1,000 a month on makeup is reasonable, even for a content creator. And the reason that I say that is because when I looked back through my purchase history, when I was adding up all of this stuff, I was looking and seeing these products that I touched maybe once and then I never used it again. And I found myself thinking like, why did I buy this? Why did I buy that? There were very few products that I looked at and I said, these brought me joy. And it made me realize that whether they were business expenses or not, there were so many things that I didn't even get a chance to talk about on my channel because I was just in this like automatic buying mode and not really thinking about what I was buying. And I was thinking back to 2009 when I started my blog. Back then, I didn't have a lot of disposable income. Things were very, very tight. And when I did buy something new, I got so much like pleasure out of it and joy out of using it, you know? If I got a new eyeshadow palette, I would use the heck out of it for months, you know? I would be so excited to create all these different looks with it. And just the whole process of like buying the product, then waiting for it to arrive, and then getting it home, opening it up, using it for the first time and the second and third and on and on. It might sound silly, but makeup just made me feel really good back then at that time. And I don't want to say it made me happy because I know that true happiness does not come from buying material items. That's not what life is about. But they would often give me a little boost in my day in kind of the same way I think my husband feels when he takes his sports car out for a drive on nice days. You know, you get true enjoyment out of things when you work hard for them and you feel like you're able to enjoy it. And if you're just buying nonstop, you don't get the chance to sit down and really enjoy what you have. It starts to become commonplace and less exciting. And I know that when I come home and I see a box from Ulta or Sephora. I mean, I still get a little bit excited about what I ordered, but it's not to the same degree. And I want to feel that way about makeup again. I want to feel excited about it, and I don't want to look around the room and feel like I'm just surrounded by stuff that I had to buy for my channel. I just want to buy the things that really truly speak to me. So for 2025, I've decided to put myself on a budget for a couple of reasons. The first reason is so that I can shop with purpose again, that I can buy the things that I really want and not buy them with the excuse that I need to review it on my channel or for that dopamine rush that I get when I get something new. Number 2 is that I want to take that money that I'm saving and spend it on things that truly matter. Ever since I've been in a better place financially over the last several years, I've been giving to charities that are close to my heart, and I always feel like I can do more. So that's something that I definitely want to continue to do and bump up those contributions. Another thing I can do is help to pay off my mortgage and contribute to our retirement, which I think is so important. And so many people don't do that. To me, those things should be a priority over buying new makeup. And then there's also travel. I would love to put money aside to go on some really wonderful trips with my family and make memories. These are the things that truly, truly matter in life. And I would much rather have those experiences than more new makeup that's very similar to what I already have. And then the third reason is really just to set a good example. I have this platform with a lot of reach and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I feel like I have a responsibility to promote good spending habits and to not just act like it's okay to go out and buy every single new release. Now, I know that I don't push products on you guys. I never have. But at the same time, it's always a subconscious, I think, reaction because I see that in myself. I watch a lot of beauty YouTube and sometimes somebody will be using something and I just, they're not pushing it, but I just feel this desire like, wow, that looks so good on them. I need that. And then I go right online and I buy it. So I know how that is. Just this morning, I saw people talking about the new Dove and Crumble cookies collection that's at Walmart, the body care products, and they sound amazing. You guys know I love like the gourmand scents, but I realized, wait a second, I still have the Dove body wash from the fall that came in like the pecan scent that smells amazing. And it's in my shower right now. It's only halfway gone. It's a huge bottle. So I'm like, I don't need these new ones. I need to use that first. So I'm trying really hard to just resist a little bit. And I think in the future, going forward, promoting good spending habits will mean me doing videos like that, where maybe I talk about new releases and why they may not be necessary to buy. So I definitely want to incorporate that into my channel. But at the end of the day, I am still a review channel and I know all of you want to see me review new products. So when I was deciding what my monthly budget should be, I had to keep that in mind because I don't want to make it so low that I can't talk about the new products that are coming out. But at the same time, $1,000 a month is not really reasonable. So at first I thought I'll cut it in half, I'll do $600 a month. But then I thought that's still a lot. That's still way, way more than the average person would ever spend. So I decided to cut it in thirds, and I'm gonna be limiting myself to $400 a month this year, and we'll see how that goes. I think it should still be plenty to buy new products, especially when there aren't big launches every single month. So some months I might only spend $200 on makeup. Some months I might spend $600. But as long as it kind of evens out to $400 a month, and I will be keeping track of this. So if I start to go over, I'm going to rein it in the next month and just, I'm going to keep it kind of rolling. So I'm not going to be fixing myself to this exact $400 a month type of situation because I think with the, new beauty releases, like I said, they're very cyclical. They can sometimes be like all at once and then there's a lull and you don't have anything. So while I still think that $400 a month on beauty products is a lot for the average person, I think for a business expense, it's perfectly reasonable. And again, we'll see how it goes and how much I'm able to actually get. But like I said, at the end of each month, I'm planning on posting an update video on how the budget is going, what all I purchased, and what things I ended up skipping. So I think that'll definitely help to hold me accountable. Like I said before, I am planning on incorporating some like will I buy it style videos so that we can still talk about the new releases, but maybe talk myself out of some of them so that I don't feel like I have to buy every single new thing. And I think also doing that on video will help to keep me accountable because if I say I'm not going to buy something and then you see me with it a week or two later, that's going to be awkward. So hopefully by saying on camera to all of you witnesses out there that I'm not going to buy something, it'll help me to hold firm to that a little bit more. And hopefully that style of video will also help you guys with your purchasing and, help you to kind of figure out what you have in your collection already before you buy new stuff. So as far as PR goes, I'm not going to count any of that because that's not my personal spending. And I think that is part of the job. So I'm looking at this purely as what am I spending? And to be honest with you anyway, I feel like PR has slowed way down the last couple of years. Ever since the rise of TikTok, brands are typically sending most of the PR over to TikTok influencers and people on Instagram. When I first started my TikTok, I don't even really update over there, but I did a couple videos and all of a sudden had all these brands reaching out to me again. But as far as YouTube goes, very few of them are wanting to send me stuff. And the things that I do get are from brands that I love and recommend to you guys anyway, like Moira and ColourPop and Milani. So I'm happy with that. I definitely think I could thin out the PR a little. So if there are companies that send me things and I'm like, you know what, I don't really use their stuff too much anymore, I'm going to take myself off of the list. But I can't really think of any off the top of my head. Like I said, they're a little bit bit more few and far between these days. So I would say the overwhelming majority of the products that I review here on my channel, I actually purchased myself. So anyway, we're gonna see where this goes. I'm excited because I think I got into lazy mode a little bit. I think it's really easy to just order a bunch of stuff and I have a video idea. You know, I think this is gonna really force me to sit down and come up with more unique video ideas and things that are not just about buying new things and review based. I will fully admit I got a little bit lazy with that. Like I said, it's just easy to buy a bunch of stuff and be like Ulta haul, Sephora haul, or whatever. So hopefully this will be a really good challenge for me to get out of my makeup rut and grow my channel in a meaningful way while still keeping the review aspect, because obviously I don't want that to go away. I love makeup. I love trying new products. And I really don't think you'll see a huge difference because, like I said, I reviewed a fraction of what I actually bought. There were so many things that you didn't even see because I only have so much time to make videos a month. So I don't think the changes are going to affect you as much as a viewer. They're just going to affect me, my budget every month, and just the amount of stuff that I have. I just think I really need to cut it down. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here and for taking the time to watch this. I truly appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you going on any type of low buy or no buy this year? Are you putting yourself on a budget? I would love to hear from you. And if you have some extra time and you'd like to watch another video, I'll just put one right over here that you could check out next. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye.